what's happening in the Bawku enclave is not so cool. And they had to take His Royal Majesty Otumfuor said to step into the picture. And, yesterday I saw the release from the Mensha Palace, and it says that His Royal Majesty, His Majesty Otumfuor said Tutu II Asante Hene will resume mediation of the Bawku crisis as agreed with both parties from April 28 to May 1, 2025 at the Mensha Palace, Kumasi. Asante Hene requests all stakeholders to cooperate for us to find a lasting peace in Bawku. This is dated the 15th of April 2025. And it's from the Mensha Palace, the Office of the Chief of Staff of the Asante Hene, PO Box 285, Kumasi, Ghana. And I usually like to add all the details so that you don't come and tell us that we are trying to manufacture, some details there. But it's quite a worrying situation, Helen. You have a situation where people are fighting and essential services are, being lost. It's a big problem. It's a very big problem for me. Doctors and look, I want you to listen to some policemen expressing their fear and frustration. Listen to them.
Masa, obi a we ya basawo. Ebi mu serve probation. Ebi mu from 1 year. Ebi mu from 2 years. We do anymore. Oba say you say you be maintain peace and order. Ya ba say peace order. You do what you dey do at home. You exchange gun fire almost 4 hours. Almost 4 hours. Almost 4 hours. You almost push guy to chin bia, but push guy yes, you gun 4 hours. Am I colleague crowd or them call bolutuo? Am I canensa? Ade. Yeah, you say about you say we for ko na asena akopata ntokwa no na so biaba. You say be mentona ba ya ba wo. Masa, what they all know. See, the people are rather policers. The people are rather policers. Bro, what say? Who pay on boat? Who pay on boat? Who could be obit was here as about who no about the two. What to what say when what is a
Kale, you are not safe. You are not safe. I'm going to lie to her. I do boy you are 2 minutes to her. Tomate. Kale, you are not safe. You are not safe. I'm going to lie to her. I do boy you are 2 minutes to her. Tomate.
Masa, obi a we ya basawo. Ebi mu serve probation. Ebi mu from 1 year. Ebi mu from 2 years. We do anymore. Oba say you say you be maintain peace and order. Ya ba say peace order. You do what you dey do at home. You exchange gun fire almost 4 hours. Almost 4 hours. Almost 4 hours. You almost push guy to chin bia, but push guy yes, you gun 4 hours. Am I a colleague crowd or them call bolutuo? Am I canensa? Ade. Yeah, you say about you say we for ko na asena akopata ntokwa no na so biaba. You say be mentona ba ya ba wo. Masa, what they all know. See, the people are rather policers. The people are rather policers, bro. What say? Who pay on boat? Who pay on boat? Who could be obit was here as about who no about the two. What to what you say when which one is a
cry for peace.
pleasant sound to listen to. And these are policemen, right? These are policemen who are expressing their fear. Those who have been trained are in fear. Now, think about the civilians. Think about the women and the children. Think about the old and the vulnerable. Think about the sick. Think about those who are not bold enough to join in this unthinkable thing happening. All right? Think about those who care about peace and tranquility, who don't want to be part of the confusion, who want peace to prevail for development to come. And think about all those who work within the public and the private sector. People work at Ghana Water Company, people work at electricity company or Netco as they call it up there. People work with Greatco, Bawku, people Ghana Gas, people work with, name them, banks, hospitals, schools, teachers, people who cook food and sell. Just think about the multitude of people who were living their lives peacefully in Bawku until this unthinkable thing started happening. What would they do now?
They're running away.
They are running away. Doctors are refusing to go there.
Away.
So even if you are shot at, there's no doctor there to take care of you. Who would want to raise their children in such chaos? Nobody. And I know some very, very decent people who come from Bawku. Very, very decent people who do not condone this. Anytime they see it, sometimes they phone and say, Charlie, this is so embarrassing for us. Some of them work here in Accra with us. They're friends. We went to school with them. They say, Charlie, this is so embarrassing for us. Because ideally, this is not supposed to be claiming the lives of people. It's a conversation with the mouth, with our voices. But from all this, it's not nice. It's not nice.
I mean, listen to the police officers, and like Johnny, you are saying, these are the men and or women. Do they send police women even there? Let's say the policemen.
There are women there. There are women there. There are women there.
I mean, look at the panic. Somebody says, I just passed out. So some people have passed out of probation.
Yeah.
And you get sent to Bawku.
They
And
are
he says,
serving probation.
in fact, serving probation.
Right after training.
After training.
Well, you come out of school.
So you have done your, maybe you've done your 6 months. Ideally, you're supposed to be on for 2 years before you get your private, rank. So 2 years. You have done six months. Then when you come, they give you a senior officer to mentor you.
Right.
All right, so you can learn the ropes. And then after 18 months, then you receive your rank and then
you start the journey.
So they are yet to even come to terms with the gamut of issues that, and then they are serving probation and
it's fair to say they don't even still understand policing.
Yes.
Because they are still learning.
They are under probation, right? For them to be properly fortified to qualify. And they say, look, you go out there and you can actually feel that a bullet just passed by your ear. See, you see how you describe it?
He said by your neck, just bullets ringing. And as the audio was, he was talking like...
No, so he had called somebody on a page that I am on, and they were having the conversation. They said, we are not safe. And then all of a sudden, the bullets were flying.
I think it was scripted like an action movie.
Like an action movie.
So
the bullets were ringing.
So he stopped talking for the bullets to send the message to whoever was receiving the message.
And we know that this is a daily reality for residents who are there. Can you imagine living wherever it is that you live? East Legon, Teshi, Agbogba, and you are in your room and they are just bullets ringing, and that is your day-to-day life.
Yes, so imagine what that is doing to the children.
The trauma.
And also the sensitization of, this is normal. Having arms is normal. Retaliation by gunfire is normal. So they grow up with that.
To school, and maybe outside the school block you are hearing gunshots. Outside your house you are hearing gunshots.
Okay.
At night you are not sleeping.
You normalize it.
How do you grow? How do you expect such a child to grow into a normal human being? How?
Keyword normal.
Dr. Victor Doke is joining us. Doc is a lecturer in security matters. He's also a security consultant. Doc, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Doc, this Bawku conflict, will it ever end?
To answer your question, this is very, very straightforward. I think we can address it and then bring it to finality, whereby the two factions will agree to whatever processes that have been laid down, what the mediator will facilitate them to achieve. This is the facilitation. Let's remember, they are going to lay down their interests, their needs, and their wants for the mediator, which is akin to now see which viable options are there for the two parties or actors to now agree upon and then come out, perform the final traditional rites, burying of the acoustic, and then declare the conflict over. I think it is doable. Why do I say so? Because there are issues that we have spoken over the years with regards to how we need to respect the rule of law. There has been litigation on this matter. The two sides all know it. One side decided not to go for an appeal, and now the litigation option is not on the table anymore. However, there are issues that need to be sorted out, because when you have two ethnic groups and loggerheads in this instance living in the same vicinity, you are assured that there will be some acrimony. However, issues about festival celebrations, issues about how to go about, land acquisitions and all that brings about these kind of violence and all of these things. Now, if we put in the right processes and mechanisms to also retrieve the weapons in the Bawku, because it's now become sort of like a normal lifestyle for every youth to own a weapon, because they don't trust each other, and that is a cause for worry. So whilst we are looking at the mediation aspect and where the roadmap will come on, we should also simultaneously be looking at how we can put plans in place to try and retrieve the weapons from Bawku. Other than that, you will still achieve nothing, because you say you want peace, the elements or the factors that contribute to violence are still existing, then you won't achieve the total peace you want. So I think in all, it is doable. The support needs to be given to the eminent king to come up with this roadmap. All stakeholders, with regards to the committee, would have to be willing and ready to support the king with ideas and suggestions on the way forward. At the end of the day, there are two actors who have taken entrenched positions that would make a headway with regards to what they really want. And as it is now, the only issue, what I understand, is who wants the chieftaincy. But that is a tall call. Now you have a rival chief that has changed the dynamics. February 2023. How do we also look into that? How does the king also deal with that? These are all issues that we are looking out for when the roadmap comes in. But it is very doable. In as much as you have the peace enforcement, the curfews have been enforced, we still see these, deaths, this violence, even meted out to security personnel, and that's a cause for worry. So then there has been, a directive to increase more men in there, which is in the right direction, because when you have more men, it means more patrols. So then there wouldn't be pressure on the few men that are already there. There will be more, effective systems of changeovers and all of that. And then also, whilst they are at it, they should build their community policing mechanism, how they can relate better to their youth leaders, and then the Bawku in the ethnic peace committee, because they are the mouthpiece of all ethnic groups in Bawku itself. I think they are neglecting that aspect. So if they should revamp the BIPC and then give them the resources and include them in this mediation process, I think they will have intelligence, they will have information as to what is going to happen before even it happens, and then they can, arrest the culprits. Now, whoever is arrested also should be treated according to the law. Normally, we have issues when these young men are arrested, and then look at the traditional aspect who comes in, and then they are released. We shouldn't be doing that, because then you're looking at how two ethnic groups, people have been seen to commit crime against the other, and you are trying to apply the law, and tradition comes in. It sends a wrong signal. That's injustice. So how do we ensure that there is justice with regards to all those who have been arrested and evidence found that they have perpetrated crimes? In the end, we just hope that the political will to resolve or address this conflict is still very much alive, which has been, evident by the president's statements and all of that. So now it's up to the two main actors who have taken entrenched positions to now come to the table and then lay down whatever issues that they have for the king to know what to do.
The conversation about or around retaliatory force by the security services, and I'd want you to listen to this briefly.
We wait, fire, and then we respond. No, we carry out to them. They will not have time to fire. They have to run, or we arrest and deal with them. That is what we are out for. Bawku must be safe, and we have to plan another operation supported by another command and the military high command. Air assets are going to support our operations. We are carrying the fight out to them. We are not going to wait for them to be firing like they've been doing every day. And that's what we are going to do. We wait, fire, and then we respond. No, we carry out to them. They will not have time to fire. They have to run, or we arrest and deal with them.
So that's, I think, a captain, they're sending out a strong warning to the troublemakers out there. And is that the tone we need now, given the fact that we have done negotiations, we have done the talks, we have spoken to traditional leaders, we have imposed curfews? Is that the next step we have to take?
Well, I look at it from two angles. One, are we dealing with criminal elements, or some youths from one faction have taken it up upon themselves to, exhibit their displeasure, hence perpetrating these crimes? So then, if you have criminal elements who have taken advantage of the situation, you are best assured that they will be met with the same brute force. But also, with regards to any group of people, youth who from either side who have taken it upon themselves to, express their displeasure, you'll be rest assured that they'll be also tagged as criminal elements, because then why do you have to, take the law into your own hands and then now kill innocent civilians? So they will also be met with the same brute force. But however, there can be a way around this. How do we, expand our intelligence mechanism to know even how these group of young people meet to even infiltrate their cells? Okay, you want information because there's a large network. You want information about how they operate, about how they get the weapons, okay, and who supplies them the weapons. So if, assuming you meet them with a brute force and you don't get all these informations, you still stand at square one. You will achieve the peace though, but the roots of the weapons coming in, how they get it, who supplies them, you will still not be able to get it. So I wish and then hope that the security apparatus would expand their intelligence information mechanism and then get right information, apprehend these people in a swoop operation, rather than using the force aspect. Okay? Per the books, it is that you can, minimal force, but then how about we try to get these young men and question them, and that would serve a lot of purpose than just with the main focus and priority of returning force.
Well, but somebody then would argue, Doc, that if that's their language they understand, because there is proof by their own narratives to show that people work the farms just to be able to harvest, to use the proceeds to buy guns and very sophisticated weapons these days. People do Okada business just to be able to get money to go and buy bullets so that they can, be fully equipped to come and cause the trouble that they are causing. security people who are supposed to be maintaining law and order and keeping the peace have now been shot. Should they not be defending themselves?
Yes, you're rightly. So defense comes in many forms. Defense with the same use of brute force. Defense by equipping and then enhancing your intelligence and operational mechanisms. Okay. So then, if you have a conflict embedded in culture and tradition as much as we have in Bawku, any kind of retaliatory measure meted out to either side will be read wrongly. You will have issues about human rights coming in, because it is supposed that the security apparatus has been trained to handle these kind of things, irrespective that they are now victims. Now, the law looks at how the fact that you having the upper hand with the state resources, and that is what the international community will look at, because the state has resources to infiltrate the cells. So how do we even get to arrest very, very hardened criminals? We use intelligence. We use reports. We use people who volunteer intelligence for the security apparatus. So all these upper hand is with the state, the security forces at large. So it is expected that they would explore all options in that area, okay, before, if it comes to the need of retaliating with force with regards to criminal elements in that area, then they do so. Now, how do we ensure? You mentioned the bullets and all that. It is very, very true. The border areas, the porous borders we have, we seal them, we man them, we get scanners, equipment to scan every goods coming in, okay, extensively. We have a very comprehensive plan in all of this.
Should this plan, for example, include, maybe my final question, should this plan include setting up a military base in Bawku, to be specific, so that they are right there, living there with the people, and so that we ensure lasting peace?
Well, there is a field base in Bawku, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a field base.
I think 11 mechanized or 12 mechanized, but
exactly,
it appears that maybe some more hands might be needed.
Exactly. So if you're talking about more hands, then it is in the right direction, because then you need more men over there, because you cannot have a base with limited resources. And in all of this, I see the resources aspect as more important as it is now, because you're talking about the sophisticated weapons which our security forces are not even using. So if you need more men in that area, you have to get the more men, equip them, capacity building.
I see.
And then you are sure, with regards to the mediation that is going on, you're on the ground enforcing the curfews and all of that, you are going to achieve something. But by and large, I look at a very comprehensive plan that is going to block all our borders from illicit flow of drugs, the weapons that are coming in, the ammunitions. Where do they get them from? I think we need to expand our intelligence base, and then we'll get the result we want.
I hear you, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Victor Doka. He's a security lecturer and consultant. He joined us here to lend some thoughts on the Bawku crisis that's presently happening.